Hello guys, this is Amosdoll Music, and in today's lesson I'll be teaching you how to play Melanie's new song. It's called the Gingerbread Man, and this song is very awesome because it's haunting, it's spooky, but at the moment it sounds like a children's lullaby. Yeah, alright, so anyway, I'll be teaching you two sections in this song. I'll be teaching you the introduction, the spooky introduction, and the chorus. There's a lot of content to cover, so I'm just going to fly right to it. So for the introduction for two hands, it goes something like this. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so the introduction is broken into two lines. The first line and the second line, first motive is exactly the same. So the first motive is this. A flat, so this is middle C, so A flat is here. A flat, E flat, A flat, B, D flat, E flat, B, A flat. That's the first motive, and it's the same on the second line. Okay, so this is the other thing. G, D flat, G, B flat, D flat, E flat, B flat, G. And then now with the second line, same motive as the first line. A flat, E flat, A flat, B, D flat, E flat, B, A flat. And then the last part, E, G sharp, B, G sharp, and then E flat, A flat, B flat. Okay, so it's not that hard, so just get the first motive and you got the second line as well. So first motive, let's start from the beginning again. A flat, E flat, A flat, B, D flat, E flat, B, A flat, and then go down. G, D flat, G, B flat, D flat, E flat, B flat, G. And then second line, same motive as the first. A flat, E flat, A flat, B, D flat, E flat, B, A flat, yeah? And then last part, E, G sharp, B, G sharp, and then E flat, A flat, B flat. Right, so that's the right hand for you. And the chords is this, okay. The chords is actually repeating itself throughout the whole song, so you might as well remember this chord pattern. Okay, so the first chord is A flat minor, A flat, B, E flat. And then the second chord is first inversion of E flat major, which is G, B flat, and E flat. The third chord in the series is A flat minor again, A flat, B, E flat. And then the fourth chord in the series is E major, E, G sharp, B. And then the next passing chord is E flat major, E flat, G, B flat. And that's the 5-chord series for you. Now let's try it again. A flat minor, first inversion of E flat major, A flat minor again, E major, and then E flat major. Okay, so let's put two hands together. So for two hands, I'll tell you what to play and when to press it. Okay, so let's go from the start. So A flat on the right hand at the start goes with A flat minor together. And then we go back down to G, the first inversion of E flat major together. Yep, and then when you jump back down to A flat minor on the left hand again. Then you go to E and E major together. We play the E flat major together. Let's go from the start again. So together. And then together. And then together. And then together. And then together. Yep, so a bit faster. Together. 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 Yes, and that's the introduction for you. It's pretty spooky. And just change the pedal for every single chord so you get that spooky feeling. Make sure you don't blow the pedal. Okay, so Now we're going to jump straight to the chorus because there's a lot of stuff to know in the chorus. Okay, so the chorus starts on E flat. This is middle C, C, E flat there. So 3 E flats in a row. E flat, E flat, E flat, and then A flat, and then E flat, E flat, A flat. So that's the gingerbread man, the gingerbread man. I don't know the lyrics, but that's how it sounds. Okay, so 3 E flats, A flat, and then 2 E flats, and then A flat. Okay? And then D flat, D flat, D flat, D flat, B, D flat. So 3 D flats, B, and a D flat. And then D flat, D flat, E flat, E flat, E flat, D flat, B, D flat, D flat, D flat, A flat. And then D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D flat, A flat. And then D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D, B. And then E flat, E flat, E flat, D flat, D flat, B, E flat, E flat, E flat, E flat, E flat. Okay, that's the first part of the chorus. Let's do that again because it's a lot of notes. Okay, let's start again. So 3 E flats, A flat, 2 A flats. No, can't say it properly. So 3 E flats, and then 1 A flat, and then 2 E flats, and then A flat, and then 3 D flats, and then B, and then D flat, and then 2 D flats, 2 E flats, and then E flat, D flat, and then B, D flat, D flat, D flat, A flat, and then D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D flat, A flat, and then D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D flat, B, and then E flat, E flat, E flat, D flat, D flat, B, and then E flat, E flat, E flat, E flat, E flat. So last part, there's 5 E flats in a row. And that's the first part for you. Okay, so the chords, as what I said before, it's actually the same. It's the 5 chord cycle, cycled twice in the whole chorus. But for this first part, it's only once, obviously. So first, so A flat major, A flat minor, followed by first inversion of E flat major, and followed by A flat minor, followed by E major, followed by E flat major. And that's the 5 chords. Now I'm going to play both hands together and tell you exactly when you press it. So right hand starts off first with 3 E flats, and then when you play the A flat on the right hand, A flat minor comes in. And then D flat, and the second D flat you play the first inversion chord. And then when you play the D flat, after the D flat, the A flat minor comes in after it, so by itself. And then after the E flat, E major comes in by itself. After the E flat major comes in by itself. And then, okay, that was it, and then I was about to go to the next part. Okay, so that's the first part of the chorus for you. Now let's do it again. So 3 E flats by itself on the right hand, and then together with the A flat. Whoa, slip. Then here, here, here. Okay, one last time. So together, together, here, here, here. Okay, so that's that. That's the first part of the chorus. Now we're gonna go to the next part of the chorus where it goes. Yeah, that part. Okay, so we're gonna start with the right hand. So A flat, this is middle C, A flat, E flat, D flat, E flat, B, D flat, and then G, E flat, E flat, G flat, E flat, D flat, B, and then D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D flat, and then D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D flat, same, and then D flat, E flat, G flat, D flat, E flat, and that's it, the second part. Let's try it again. So A flat, E flat, D flat, E flat, B, D flat, G, E flat, E flat, G flat, E flat, D flat, B, D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D flat, D flat, B, D flat, E flat, D flat, and then D flat, E flat, G flat, D flat, E flat. Okay, that's the right hand for you. So the chord's exactly the same as I said before. A flat minor, first inversion chord, A flat minor, E major, and E flat major. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you exactly when you need to press it. So when you play the A flat on the right hand, the A flat minor comes in together. When you play the G on the right hand, the first inversion chord comes in together. And then when you play after the D flat, A flat minor comes in after it by itself. And then after the D flat, E major comes in by itself. And then when you play the D flat on the right hand, E flat major comes in together. Okay, so let's do it again. So together, together. Here, here, together, again, together, together, here, and then here, together. Okay, so let's play the whole chorus all together. So, a bit more advanced stuff that I teach. You can add stuff after it. You can learn that in my advanced courses. But anyway, let's just improvise a little bit, play around. And then pretty much that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this because the chorus appears in the song total of 3 times inclusively, and then the intro that I taught you in the beginning, it appears twice. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you missed out on something, just rewind the lesson and check out where you missed out, I guess. And then after this lesson, if you like this, check out all my other lessons and other covers. I do many of them. And yeah, as for now, enjoy your time around my channel and see you next time. Hey there, I'm glad that you finished this lesson. You must love music just like I do, so don't forget to subscribe for more of these lessons or many other new songs in the future. As a reward for finishing this lesson, I firstly want to give you a free trial on the piano method that I have created and use every day in my piano covers, spending around 10 to 20 minutes learning and recording a song almost instantly without the slow methods of sheet music or synthesia. Secondly, if you are a curious student who wants to learn more than what is in this lesson and download the full chords and melody of this and every other song in the future for you to play for yourself starting from this song onwards, then become my Patreon. And for your final gift, click the video on the right to view my full performance of this very song that you have just learnt.